On tonight's edition of The Overtime, we catch up with some of the local high school baseball team action, with the playoffs just being in touching distance. Also, we review how the Coconino Panthers softball team have fared as of late in the penultimate week of the regular season. All this and more for you on The Overtime. Thank you for joining us and welcome to tonight's edition of The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sporting show. I am your host, Jaydee Dyer, and we have a packed show for you tonight with a lot of local sports action. And joining me tonight in the studio is sports reporter Cody Cameron. Hey Cody, how you doing?
Jaydee, looking forward to a great show. We're coming up the end of the year right now. Let's get into it.
Well, let's get right into action with the first topic for tonight, with some of the local high school baseball action. Cody, I know you're an avid baseball fan and I've really taken note of some of the high school action. Who has impressed you this week?
The most impressive win in prep baseball last week had to be Flagstaff High's 11-1 win over Diesart. The Eagles had 7 different players score runs in this game and scored a total of 5 in the bottom of the second. Flagstaff pitcher Mark Mesa did it all for the Eagles, pitching a complete game and also knocking in the first run. Mesa only needed a total of 60 pitches to dominate the Diesart hitters to lead Flagstaff to the 10-run roll win over the visiting team. Flagstaff's on a roll, Jaydee, as they head into the last couple of weeks of the season.
Well, Cody, as we spoke about earlier, I've taken a keen interest in their crosstown rivals, Coconino Panthers. The boys have performed with some rigour this season and will want to finish the season strong to build upon their overall record of 14-9 thus far. However, their closing schedule does not fare easy, with some gruelling tests against Mingus and Flagstaff High approaching in the upcoming weeks. It will be interesting to see how they perform in the regular season as it draws to a conclusion. Staying out in the diamond, we switch from the baseball field to the softball one. The Coconino Panthers softball team regular season is also drawing to a conclusion. Cody, in your opinion, how do you feel that they're about to end their season so far?
The Coconino Panthers softball team has been very impressive this season, especially in conference play. The Lady Panthers hold a 3-1 record in their conference and are 8-5 overall with just 5 games left in the regular season. Coconino is led by senior utility player Vivian Tozi, who has already signed her letter of intent to play next season at Glendale Community College. Tozi boasts an incredible batting average of .456, and with her offensive performance and leadership, the Coconino softball team is on its way to finish the season strong.
Cody, you make some great points about their captain, Vivian Tozi, but a lot of credit must go down to their coaching staff as well at the Panthers. Upon their varsity roster this season, accompanying Vivian are her 2 fellow sisters, Rachel and Mary, who combined to make 1/3 of the Coco starters. The connection the girls have had this season has really been evident in their home performances, explaining their undefeated record so far this season. Now, switching on to the collegiate sports. When the word senior day is uttered around any sport at collegiate level, it can almost be a sad affair, with the emotions being so high. With this being said, Cody, how do you think the NAU men's tennis team handled the extra incentive to do well in their final regular season game?
Well, Jaydee, the NAU men's tennis team ended their season with the win on Senior Day against Portland State. An emotional day for 3 seniors. The Jacks cruised to victory to clinch the final seed in the Big Sky Championships. Senior Kester Black clinched the match for the Jacks with the 3-set win over Portland State's Will Cochran. A fitting way for Black to end his regular season career, to say the least, racking up his 11th win for the season. The Jacks are on a roll right now as they head into the Big Sky Championships, Jaydee.
Well, much like the men, the women have also booked their place in the Big Sky Championships in Sacramento. The ladies will face off against Weber State, who finished just below NAU in the final conference standings. Having faced Weber State at the back end of last month, the girls will take great confidence knowing that they resulted in a tightly contested 4-3 victory. But at the same time, the NAU squad will take nothing for granted, with their knowledge of how drastic things can change at the Big Sky Championships. Now, after the break, we have our very own David Ahumda with a package you do not want to miss. See you soon.
Hi, I bought Pepsi Next.
What's Pepsi Next?
It's the latest cola from Pepsi. It's got real cola taste, but 60% less sugar.
Real cola taste, 60% less sugar.
Yeah, I know.
It's unbelievable.
But this is the most impressive thing I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Oh, definitely. Let me get the camera. I've never had anything like it. My parents are gonna.
Yes, they're gonna be so proud.
Pepsi Next. Drink it to believe it.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to The Overtime, and I'm your host, Jaydee Dyer.
And I'm Cody Cameron. As promised, we have David Ahumda with a very interesting package. Check it out.
Thank you, folks, and this is going to be the sit-down that I will be having with Jackie Lamar from the NAU golf team here for the Overtime and NAZ today. Now, Jackie, congratulations, first of all, on your team's victory in the Big Sky Championships. You guys are coming back to NAU as Big Sky Conference Championship winners. How great does that have to feel to be able to hear and to say for, you know, a season that has really gone back and forth for you guys, but to be finally able to say you're conference champions? I mean, how does that make you feel?
It feels amazing. There's like no feeling that I can describe, you know, to cover all the hard work and the dedication we've put in. I know I sat down with one of my teammates at the beginning of the semester, and both of us being transfers and being in the Pac-12 before, we've seen how bigger programs operate, and we sat down and we said, we need to implement a culture change within NAU's program of, you know, this is what we want to do. And these are the things we want to do to make ourselves a conference championship team. And we kind of sat down with Coach at the beginning of the season and implemented a whole new program that we started in January. And I mean, the most amazing feeling isn't that we won, it's seeing all of our hard work that we've put in since January 1st pay off. You know, all the early morning workouts, the late night practices, you know, getting up and doing the extra practice on the weekends, like that is what the feeling, you know, that we have of everything just paid off. And, you know, we really and truly implemented a culture change that hopefully will carry on, you know, even when we graduate as seniors.
And mentioning hard work paying off, you guys went into the final day of the Big Sky Championships looking up the leaderboards. You guys were not leading on the last day, and that leaderboard had about 4 or 5 different teams on the top of it. Going through the process of that final day, what were the emotions like for the team before that final shot went down and you guys realized you were going to be conference champions?
I think there were a lot of emotions because we knew every single shot counted. We knew that there was no single, you know, shot that wasn't going to count or that we could just not be focused on. We knew that every single shot had to be perfect, and we had to have 100% focus and commitment. And we had to have unconditional gratitude for every single circumstance we were in. And we needed to really just take a step back and focus and kind of go back to the basics and say, okay, you know, we have a lot of ground to make up, but we're going to win the day. We're not going to win the tournament. We're going to win the day. And if we win the day, hopefully that's good enough for us to, you know, come out on top overall.
And you came up on top in that, and now you'll be going off to the regionals for the NCAA tournament coming up in the beginning of next month. And again, you guys, it's not going to be a long travel from what I understand, correct? It's going to be a pretty short distance trip for you guys. But with that regional tournament brings a whole new side of, you know, expectations, you know, emotions, and, you know, just a lot more work is going to have to be put into this. I mean, what is your guys' mindset for this final match, for this next tournament that you guys have, with a chance to perhaps go all the way to the NCAA tournament itself? How is the team handling that kind of a pressure situation?
I think a lot of it's going to be focused on our mental game, you know, because as the team right now that we have, obviously our mechanical skills they're great. You know, we all have really good foundations. We all have very long hitters off the tee. We're all built for kind of power and strength. So I think a lot of it's going to come from our mental game. And I think kind of our secret weapons is Brittany McKee. She transferred from ASU. I transferred from UCLA. We're both from Pac-12 teams. We've both been to regional and national tournaments. We kind of understand the environment and understand the next level pressures that it takes to, you know, compete at this level. So I think we're really going to use our knowledge and our kind of expertise to kind of implement just like that strong mental foundation core. It's all going to be about your focus and your commitment and kind of just trusting your game, because, you know, obviously we got here for a reason, and we need to remember that we're just as good as any other team to be there and just as good as any other team to go to the national championships, so why not us?
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck in that regional tournament, Jackie, and we thank you very much for joining us here at the Overtime Studios for this interview. Again, best of luck to you in the regionals, and we'll hopefully hear more good news from the NAU golf team. Back to you guys on the set.
Thanks to reporter David Ahumda for that great package on NAU Golf. Tonight in the studio, I'm joined by Alexander Moore. Alex, I hear you've got our weekend sports schedule. How's it looking?
Yes, JD, this weekend looks packed, and I'll tell you more after the break. Stay with us.
More streaming. More teaming.
More in touch. More in control. More in the moment. More stars. More superstars. More soul searching. More soulmates. For whatever gives you joy, Suddenlink. More power to you.
Arizona Music Pro, your musical instrument and accessories headquarters. We have the gear you need at the price you want. We buy, sell, trade, and consign on all things musical, new and used. We've got it. Northern Arizona's best selection of fine quality instruments and accessories at the guaranteed best price. Serving musicians' needs for over 20 years. Local NAU grad owned and operated since 1994. Voted best of Flagstaff 10 years running. Instruments, lessons, expert repairs, rentals, we've got you covered for all things music.
Hi, I'm Terry Markson. When you buy a Chevy from Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, you save time and money.
Save big on the efficient and affordable new 2015 Chevrolet Malibu, Jaydee Power's highest-ranked midsize car in initial quality from as low as $189 a month. Or the new 2015 Chevrolet Colorado Crew Cab, voted Motor Trend's Truck of the Year for 2015 for as low as $299 a month.
You'll find the best deals in Arizona right here at Flagstaff. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back. My name is Alexander. Moore, and we had quite a bit of action earlier today around town. To start things off, Flagstaff High School baseball was in Kingman, Arizona today, looking to keep their team batting average close to that 300 mark against the Bulldogs. That game started at 4. Flagstaff softball team was in action against Kingman earlier today also. Hopefully senior captain Rachel Hernandez can keep her impressive 400 batting average up to help the Lady Eagles soar over the Bulldogs. Cocoa baseball faced Mingus High here in Flagstaff this Friday. The Panthers were looking to derail the mighty Mingus High and beat them for the second time this season. Cocoa softball went into their matchup today against Mingus with an impressive batting average of .378. Hopefully they look to keep up that batting average. Now switching to the collegiate level, both the men and women NAU tennis teams will be looking to bring home that cherished trophy that they have been chasing all season long, the Big Sky Championship in Sacramento, California. Results on the tournament can be found at nauathletics.com. Well, that's all the matchups we have this weekend. Good luck to our athletes representing Flagstaff, and will someone please bring home a W this weekend? I mean, that's all we ask for.
Thanks, Alec, for that great insight. So, Cody, how are you feeling about the up-and-coming sports ahead of us this week?
Well, you know, Jaydee, I'm going to the NAU spring football game this Saturday. Really excited to see how Casey Yon plays, star running back for the Jacks, and also the new offensive scheme they're putting in. Gonna love it.
Well, that's all we can talk about, and that's going to be great. I think it's really good that the NAU football team's spring season is kicking off. Well, thank you to Cody Cameron and Alexander Moore for joining me on tonight's edition of The Overtime. This has been my last edition of The Overtime, and just a special thanks to the whole team and all the viewers for your love and support shown in my time here. But be sure to check out as many local games this weekend as possible, and check back in next Friday for another edition of The Overtime. Good night.